Hello everyone, welcome to the Community Club Showcase Coming Attractions stream for summer 2022. I am your host, Scala Kitty. Today I am joined by the absolutely wonderful Alchemy, who's sitting down there across the bar from me.
Hey! It's an honor being here. Thank you very much.
Oh, of course. For those of you who don't know, Alchemy has been doing a great deal of work helping us sort of retune club season, which is sort of the time we have in between tournaments. We instead turn our energy towards a whole bunch of different clubs that offer a wide variety of ways to play free enterprise. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of these are going to be a lot more casual events, but they're welcome. Sorry, they're open and welcome to everyone. the big important thing.
Yeah, totally. There is no like the tough sign up process or like a big bracket or anything like that. Some like you could define them as like mini leagues, but the point of these clubs, like most of them, is not high competition, but just having like a bunch of fun with folks and just enjoying yourself with a lot of different ideas and ways to play free enterprise that are different from, you know, like super high competition from the tournaments.
Yeah. So let's sort of start off with kind of what was the very first iteration of this concept, which are the free enterprise community races. These have been around since the very beginning, but we are doing a little bit of a change going forward. The big change is for a long time, community races were one flag set per week. Now, going forward, we're going to have that flag set change every 2 weeks instead. So we're still going to have a lot of fun, a lot of different variety, but we're going to have a little bit less flag set churn, as it were. So that way there, if you miss 1 week, you're not going to miss out on a flag set entirely.
Yeah, and also we figured that with so many different clubs and ways to play that maybe we were going a little overboard with changing flag sets. So this gives like folks something stable and something like that they can get better at too. So there's like some improvement there if you do all the races. I think this will be like a great change.
Yeah. And we're going to be sort of pulling some interesting flag sets. We sort of started off this week and the coming week. We've been doing the ladder standard flag set, which has been a lot of fun. People have been really enjoying playing in these community races, playing on the ladder. It's been a really nice way to kind of bring everyone, you know, sort of into the club season. Though we do have a suggestion box if you would like to offer your own flag set for consideration. I'll just very quickly drop that link in chat. I'll do my best to also include this, in the VOD for our wonderful viewers on YouTube. Hi, shoutouts to all y'all.
Hello, thank you so much for the viewership. But yeah, if you have like a fun idea for like a flag set and like making a club is like, you know, too much work. You have to come up with a lot of different flag sets. It's there's some involvement there. You can just like, if you think it's gonna be fun for Restream and for the racers and for the viewers, just like drop it on the suggestion box. We'll really enjoy having your free content TM. Thank you very much.
One of the other big things is that our community races, they are open to everyone of all skill levels. Everyone is invited to join in. And anyone is also invited to volunteer to be restreamed. The only thing that we ask is we do ask that everyone just streams when you play a community race. That's the only thing we ask for. And we do 2 different times in order to kind of, I know our times are very North American centric, but we did try to space out our community races just a little bit to have a little bit of variety. So on Monday nights, we are at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's going to be here on the main Free Enterprise channel. And then Friday night is a little bit more casual. It is going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern, and that's going to be on Free Enterprise 2, which that was the channel we opened up during tournament season to kind of have a little bit more space. And we're kind of going to keep it rolling, kind of keep it in people's minds during club season by having the second weekly, the Friday weekly over there.
Yeah, so when next tournament rolls around and we have like 700 like entrants, like people don't forget that Free Enterprise 2 is a thing. So, you know.
Please don't actually have 700 people sign up.
Yeah, please don't.
Please
well,
don't.
We'll figure it out.
Will we? No, I'm kidding. But anyway, let's go ahead and start talking about some of the different clubs. I know, Alchemy, you are here because you have one of our returning clubs.
Yes. Welcome everyone to Baron's Hero's Journey Season 2, where the idea is that I basically chose different characters from Final Fantasy IV and wondered, so how will this story go as a single player RPG idea? So with C-Hero, the distinct perma-join for the most part on most flexes, it's like the idea is that each character finds their RPG party, and they grow together as friends, and they go over challenges, and you make up your own story in your head. So they are themed flexes with theme objectives. They range from a variety of difficulties, which I have ranked to the best of my ability. They might not be entirely accurate, and sometimes the randomizer is like, haha, I'm gonna, put the Witchburn Wave at Cave Bahamut or something. Yeah, the randomizer doesn't respect my ranks, And the other big thing about the club is that there are meta objectives, which, for example, have telecast media on Golbez, or the other kind of meta objective, which is Rosa can only use bows, she can use white magic, stuff like that, to change how the character plays. And if there's a winner, well, they get to pick the next character. That's the gist.
Yeah, and it makes it so we kind of have a little bit of interaction with the club members and how the club evolves. That's always really, really fun.
Yeah, thank you.
And
so there's gonna be a async starting tomorrow with the character that will be picked. There's a poll still open, by the way, at the at the Hero's Journey channel that you can check out if you wanna see.
yes.
Between Tela, Rydia, and Rosa, which are three really easy starting flexes, and then we can get back wild next week. But for now, we can start with some easy flexes, and I'll open an async, and then the race will start next week.
Now, I did like that you have some new
yes,
flag sets for this time around.
So thing is that aside from retooling a lot of existing flag sets and adding force magma and stuff like that, I have added 2 new flag sets named after titles or jobs or classes or whatever, which I have dubbed the Dark Inventor, Stealth King, High Dragoon, and Faint Mimic.
Ooh.
Please look forward to them. TM.
Also, I do have to say one other thing. For this club season, we're also trying out giving clubs channels to themselves for discussion, so you can have all sorts of nice concentrated discussion on the Discord. We'll be reminding you many times. Please join the Discord if you would like to get in on any of this. All this is hosted on our Discord.
Indeed, we use Dark Paladin's race spot for Discord, which is really useful to keep track of the events, and there's channels for discussion and everything. If you think that this sounds fun, go ahead.
Yes, please join us.
Please, we begged you.
One of us. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go down the days of the week. So Baron's Hero's Journey is going to return as our Saturday club at 3 p.m. and that's going to be restreamed every Saturday. So you always have something to kind of go on Saturday afternoons, which is always a lot of fun. It's our way also to catch some of our off North American primetime viewers. We know we have our wonderful European audience out there, our wonderful friends in the future in Australia, and we're just glad that Free Enterprise has somewhat of an international audience, and we like to make it so that y'all can get in on live stuff too.
Yeah, just imagine that the European like club captain made a club for like Euro friendly times. Just imagine.
I know, right? But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's talk about one of our new clubs. I'm going to go ahead and bring in one of the first of our other club captains. Hello, Charlie.
Hello there. Hi there, Charlie.
Greetings. Thank you, folks, for having me. Thank you, folks, for letting me kind of brainstorm and set this up.
Oh, we're super happy to have you. So you are now running the Eblan Spelunking Club.
Time to spelunk.
Yes. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that club?
All right. So this is based off the Falcon Percent flags. The Falcon Percent flag set. It's one of the new flag sets for ladder for the current season. It's something that I'd created just kind of as a general kind of personal training tool. I found that I was bleeding a lot of time in early game scenarios. I was looking for something realistic to kind of help improve like the quality of my early gameplay overall. Possum Morpheus, shoutouts to him, helped me test out kind of some of the early flags for it. And then I started thinking about, okay, well, what other versions of the flags can we use? What other changes can we use? Oh, these things could actually fit in the form of a club. Let's throw it out there and see how things go and see how people like it well enough.
Shoutouts to Possum once again, valid member of the community. And so, one thing I like, as a person that finds tough keeping their attention on one thing for a long time, that they're like short. I like short seeds.
Absolutely. No, the goal was an hour or less to make it a lot easier overall to kind of rewatch VODs, to be able to digest kind of what you've done and what other people have done, so that you can compare. It works for me personally. I know with kind of some of the seeds that can drag into the 2-hour range, rewatching VODs can be a little bit of a struggle. My attention span kind of wanes a little bit. So I figured keeping it somewhat short and somewhat digestible, especially in this case for something that will start a little bit later in the day, that I think overall it would just be a good fit.
Yeah, and then in the Discord, since they're so short, like people could like ask each other, like, "Hey, what did you do? How was it? What things did you do?" And then they can point out to the bot and be like, "Hey, well, I did this. Check it out." And it's not like, put a 2 hours VOD at 2 times speed and just watch it. So like the sense that I'm getting in the community of, hey, check out my VOD and see what I did, and it not being like a massive undertaking, I really appreciate that. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely, and the feedback so far from Ladder has been really solid. And in working on some of these alternate flag sets, I've had some really solid feedback as well. Again from Possum Morpheus.
Nice.
Shoutouts to Infinius and to Solaris and to Tybalt also for kind of giving me some ideas on some of the alternate flags. Kind of the overall idea with the alternate flags. Overall with the race with the schedule set up. There's going to be 10 weeks in total, 5 weeks using the ladder flags, 5 weeks using the 1 week each of 5 different alternate flag sets. But those are kind of interspersed. If you check out the Eblan Spelunking Club channel, you'll see the current schedule posted there with all the dates as well as everything that's set up to be restreamed. So restreaming every other week. And the first 2 weeks are the base ladder flags. But some of the other flags, I guess it's okay for me to dive into those a little bit.
Sure.
Nice. Yeah. Go on ahead. You can give us a little
preview of the spice that is to come.
Absolutely. So I've actually went ahead and spoiled the first set of flags for the alternate sets. So the first idea, okay, well the base ladder flag set is kind of a simple flag set overall. Does kind of restrict the resources, but you could run into free bosses, and that could turn some seeds into legitimately like 18-20 minute seeds. Well, what if those weren't free anymore? What if you had to actually fight through them? and to counteract that, I pulled out the SO Hoarder to kind of balance it out. And that's going to be kind of a common theme with some of these alternate flags, is I want to kind of change, add difficulty in some areas, remove difficulty in others, to try to keep the times somewhat low. Want to just present a little bit of a different challenge.
That's great. Awesome.
Absolutely. And as for some other ideas, like there's a couple of different flag sets for restricting the character pools. Okay, so if you don't find a healer, you're going to be relying on finding your cure potions. And then what if we kind of change the paradigm on the loot itself? The flag set, the base flag set uses T-Pro. Well, what if we bump that up a little bit? But at the same token, as a trade-off, you're looking at much worse shops.
I see. So, like, there's a core base flag set, and then you just swap things around, and that makes for a really engaging and different experience each time. But it's still trying to tackle different early game experiences. I really like that. That's awesome. Absolutely.
I'm hoping hoping people jump on in. Please, and absolutely looking for feedback too. If there's other ideas, thoughts overall that people have, I'm more than receptive. Feel free to hit me up, and I'm always ears. So definitely feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns, or feedback.
Once again,
so go over to the Discord and ping Charlie, all of you, ping Charlie. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't ping Charlie.
I mean, ping Charlie if you have cute pictures of your pets.
Yes, I will take dog and cat pics like nobody's business, and just know that if you send me a picture, I'm going to put a finger on a monitor because you have to boop the snoot. So,
see, there you go. But anyway, Charlie, thank you so much for talking to us about the Eblan Spelunking Club. That first race of the season is going to be next week on Tuesday the 31st, and I hope people will come out and really enjoy it.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so let us go ahead and move on to our next club. So next up, we're talking about the Music Appreciation Club, which will be headed up by Scythe Marshall. Hello, Scythe.
Hello. So welcome to the Music Appreciation Club. So this club's origin story, if you will, is a couple, either early Adamant Club or early Adamant Cup, or before that, we had a discussion in the Discord. There we go. Plug the Discord again. About
you're on brand. We love it.
Oh yeah, right. I got this. Got this figured out. About the wacky, a much bigger magnet. So this wacky flag makes the Twin Harp or the Dark Elf spell in Cave Magnus extend to everywhere in the entire game. And the question is, if I
All right, we should be back. Hopefully we're back.
Mm-hmm. We are back.
We are back. I'm stuck in an ad. But anyway, you
might have to backtrack just a little bit to cover what we lost during the little hiccup there.
Right. So,
yeah,
okay.
The bigger magnet thing.
Okay, so let's try this again. So Music Appreciation Club, origin story, a much bigger magnet. Do you do Twin Harp because it'll help you, or do you fade it because it saves you time? And so this idea of focusing around the music objective entirely sort of morphed and evolved into an entire club. So what the idea is basically almost every seed is required music. You will have to do the Cave Magnus check. That means you'll get to experience the Twin Harp music, which is one of the sort of big showcases in terms of artwork in our community. And so all the flags are about sort of featuring music, and because you can't have the music without the bard, we have starting Edward in pretty much every flag set.
Nice.
All of the flags, so each week there will be a different set of flags, all themed around certain musical ideas or themes. So to give you, I've named some of these flag sets. So the very first flag set, which you'll see in our Music Appreciation Club in the community channel, is radio friendly. So this is a more jetty, sort of high power flag set. Other flag sets include push B to play music, so adding in jumps. Practice is optional, which was my name for the do you go to the twin harp check flag set. And cave diving for power trio, which I'm not going to spoil that one, but it sounds really cool. Should be really fun.
One of the things when Site Marshall was, you know, like showing the club off to me and asking about the flag sets and stuff, I really liked how all of them had some sort of like theme. Like one is like radio, like you mentioned. One is like jazzy, like or something like that. And it's I really like the whole like different music theme that you got going on. I really like that.
Thanks. So outside of the races, because okay, racing clubs, sure, that's a thing. Outside of races, the club is called the Music Appreciation Club, so we should take some time to appreciate the music. And one of the ways we can do that is, you know, we'll experience the music in the seeds we play, and then afterwards, me and any harp devs and anyone else interested, you know, can kind of go in and say, are there stories about this song? I know Xenocat has expressed interest in this club, and hopefully they get if some of the songs that they've sort of put into the harp tool show up, then they can, you know, maybe tell us a fun story about it. Maybe.
Oh,
right?
so I keep an eye on this club, and then when one of the songs I submitted to Xenocat shows up, I'm like, this is the song that only one person in the community knows about. It's Alchemy Song. I see.
Right. So,
Look, Xenocat in chat talking about doing theory lectures after a race. Yes, do the thing. We're only going to like encourage that. Like I was the person who I saw the first flag set. I'm like, all right, here's a song for this playlist for this. And
yes.
Yeah, that's fun.
So this the club is okay. So there's racing, but the club is really just to you know, enjoy the music, have some fun playing the game with different flag sets, and you know, have a good time. As a sort of an administrative note about the club, so unlike other clubs that sometimes do practice acings, I won't be doing that. But what will happen is for a synchronous race, I will open a spoiler channel in the Music Appreciation Club channel, or a spoiler thread, sorry. Gotta get the threads in there, right?
Thank you for using the correct terminology.
Hey, you know what? I try, okay? And so we can use the spoiler threads instead of the race spoilers channel to talk about the seed, and that way I'm also going to post the seed links in the channel so that if you want to play the seed after the fact, say you can't make the race, then you can play them after the fact and still get a chance to chat about the seed and hang out with the rest of us.
What you need to do is after you post the link to the seed at the very beginning, you need to have like several like posts that have nothing to do with the actual spoilers, so that people don't get like spoiled. So just that's where you post all of your song suggestions.
Oh, yeah. So there will be like sort of segmented ways to avoid spoilers before you play the seeds, of course. All right. I think that's all I have to say. First race of the season is this coming Wednesday, May 25th, I think.
25th, sorry.
And then every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, that's when the races will happen. Every second week is Restream.
Yes.
So I think our first restreamed race is June 1st.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So I hope to see you there. Or if you aren't super interested in playing in the club but are interested in watching the restreams, I hope you enjoy. I've tried to make these flags that's both fun to play and, you know, fun to watch, and enjoy the concert.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping by. And I hope folks will like your club. All right, let me set up for our next club. This is our other returning club. And it is...
Fan favorite.
Hello, Asuka, and please come and tell us all about the Pink Puff League.
Well, hi there, everybody. So yeah, we are back. It is bigger, badder, pinker, and puffier than it was ever before. And this is a club specific for all those new and inexperienced Free Enterprise players. So you're probably watching that big old tournament that just happened. You're like, Puff, I really want to do this, but they're really fluff and good. And where do I even start? Hey, guess what? Come join us. We have some fun here. And this club is perfectly designed for you. We go through all different types of flag sets and like little things that you can learn throughout the entire course of the season. We start off pretty straightforward, pretty chill with one of my favorite flag sets, a variant thereof, the Supermarket Sweep, so you can just find out how big, bad, and puff and awesome you are. And then we work our way up to an actual League flag set. So it's a pretty cool experience for all of our new people. And you know what? I don't know if you know this, but a lot of our Puff alum, they just happen to do really puffing well in the tournament. Like, if I remember correctly, Rybon was top 4.
Yup.
And he is a Season 1 Puff alum.
Yep.
So we have success stories.
Yes, Kyrios also did fantastic.
Yes.
The Adamant Cup.
Yeah, Kyrios.
It's like this club is like good at teaching people or something. Gee.
Right? And the best part is, one thing that I want to make sure that all of our new people get to experience is, interacting with a lot of those really big names. I like to call them the super smart people that are in the community. And shockingly, well, not really shockingly once you get to know everybody, they like helping and they like teaching new people. They like showing what's going on, and they'll come in and we'll do asyncs where everybody can race and give their tips, tricks, and other fun little ideas. And they can teach you as we prepare for each week's flag set. They're always willing to answer questions that you might have, and they will go out of their way to make the experience super puff and awesome.
And one of the things that I really like about Pink Puff League is that Asuka really makes these really funny and clever and cute narratives in the Discord. And I really enjoy even if I can't catch the races because they're very, very late and stuff, I really like reading the posts that Asuka makes about the story of the Pink Puffs. It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely this season I'm starting off as a trapped in the shell of the CPU, and Edward's kind of leading the show because yeah, exactly, it's not lore TM.
Lore.
But we also will teach you if you've never restreamed before or never streamed, that's totally cool. We'll show you how to do that. It's not a requirement. It's recommended, so you can kind of watch back what you did and kind of learn from that. But we also get to feature you on those restreams, and you're up against people of your skill level, so you don't have to worry about going on and going, oh my god, I have to race next to a tourney champion. That ain't happening. You're racing with your Puff friends and your Puff family, and you get to just enjoy the experience of people cheering you on and wishing nothing but the Puff and best for you. And it's such a cool experience. And I low-key get to kind of talk to you about that wonderful thing called the Restream team. That's another great way to learn and get people involved in that too.
Yeah, I often tell people that if you want to learn how to restream, how to be part of the team, do commentary, do tracking, come in during club season. This is the best time. Everything is very chill. We do our best to support you, and we want basically if you are out there racing, if you are behind the scenes, we want you to succeed, and we have so much support for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great family. It's a great experience. And yeah, once a Puff, always a Puff, even if the PPL didn't exist when people started. Everyone's a Puff at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like calling myself the veteran newbie because I've been around since like 2018 and I'm still like not great at the game because I don't practice. And it's like, yeah, we're all puffs at heart for sure.
Yeah, I'm just the one that I play for memes and fun
Fair.
eddy strats. But yeah, so the first race of the season is next Thursday. That is, I believe, going to be a restreamed race.
Yes.
Fan-puffantastic. So, like I said, we do every week. The day or two after a race, we will reveal the next flag set, and we'll put up at least one, if not two, async races, so you can practice the flag set and get tips and tricks from everybody before the subsequent week. And yeah, we keep going until you get to see just how puffin' amazing y'all are.
It's always a fun time. I know so many people in the community really, really enjoy it. And I'm sure, I know everyone's really happy to have it back.
Yep.
I always love looking forward to seeing just the awesome things that the Puffs can do, and just the family like atmosphere that they create. I mean, yeah, we have our Puff Masters, we have all of that goodness, but it's really the people that participate in the PPL that make it so puff and special. They take it and run with it. I mean, shout outs to CS Radical when I was on vacation past couple months. He kind of did these PPL themed async races and just kept the hype going throughout the tournament. Like that was
fun.
Yeah, that wasn't even like something he asked. He just did, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I loved it.
Shout out to CS Radical. Yeah, again,
Many
for sure.
shout outs. But yeah, I'm sure everyone's going to be excited to get back into it on Thursday, and we hope to see a whole bunch of new folks. Again, if you have been sitting on the sidelines, not sure if you want to get involved, this is the best time to do so, and Pink Puff League is an absolutely amazing place to start.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we got one more restreamed club to talk about. Let me go ahead and swap us over, get us a new friend. Hello, Firebird!
Hello.
Another pink puff? Huh.
More puffs.
Yeah, pink puff for life.
So tell us about your club from the perspective of.
So, this started off with one goal, and actually sort of kind of ended with two goals, but we'll start with the first goal. And the first goal was, I have been very much a fan of Final Fantasy IV since it was Final Fantasy II. And I know that there are a lot of people who joined Free Enterprise because they played Final Fantasy II as a kid, or maybe 4 later in life, or maybe 4 as a kid if they're young. Now I'm making myself feel old, but you know, a bunch of people who joined specifically because of their memory and love for that game. And my original thought was, I want to try to tell the story of the game, of the game, how it actually played out, but specifically from the perspective of each of the playable characters. So, I mean, you start off with Cecil, and Cecil sees the whole game. He is the perspective character. He goes from start to finish. You know, that's just the way he plays it. So the flags I made that are from the perspective of Cecil, there's a lot of vanilla in them. Not 100%, but there's a lot of vanilla in them. Whereas if you look at the perspective of someone like Eddie, from his perspective, this story starts when his fiancée dies, and this story basically ends when he plays some harp music. And that's pretty much it.
He gets to come in with the attack on the giant, but like.
Yeah. He shows up for like 2 lines of dialogue. Yes, shut up.
He's got hey, we respect characters who only have 2 lines of dialogue in this house. # Stan King Giat.
Yeah, you will know all about like fun clubs over like side NPCs. You know my boy Kunstel and all that.
Yeah. Anyway, go on, FPL. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
No, I get it. So, and again, he doesn't even realize that there's, he doesn't realize there's 12 playable characters. Because he only ever meets, including himself, 5 of them. In fact, if you think really hard, when we get to the perspective of Eddie, you know exactly what 5 characters are going to be part of your party. That's it. So I end up having one flag set for each of the sets of playable characters, and they go in order of how the characters join the party in the vanilla game for each week, and there are 13 weeks total. I'm not going to explain why that math is wrong, but you can work it out. We can work things out in week 13. The key here is that I was able to use beta flags to make all this really happen, which are now actual flags. So, thank you, whoever did that.
Zoe.
Yes.
Zoe and Board.
But one of the things that beta flags specifically did is they allowed you to, and current flags now allow you to define who's a restricted character and who's not. And that made it suddenly so much easier to say, okay, these characters can be part of the party. These characters are restricted, can only be found in restricted locations. These characters can never be found. And suddenly, I had the ability to create parties. So that's one... Yeah?
You told me, when you first approached me with the idea, hey, for example, I believe Yang has Seed that's a restricted character, or Seed has Yang as a restricted character because they are in the party together very briefly, or they're very close in the story or something like that.
Someone has Yang as a restricted character.
Yeah, I forget which one, but yeah, something like that. Like folks are together very, very shortly, or one joins and the other leaves in the party.
Hallam, I believe.
In the actual story.
I believe Hallam has Yang as a restricted character because Hallam only interacts with Yang very briefly, during the Baron run.
Yeah, I think, for example, that's so cool.
Yep. So that was, and that's what I took into mind. The second but like I said, I had a second goal by the end of this, which was almost by accident, which was I ended up showcasing a lot of different flags that are rarely ever used in races. Just not wacky flags. I'm not using wacky flags, but just these off flags that no one ever clicks on, no one ever uses. I can give a perfect example in the first week, literally tomorrow, which is from the perspective of Cecil. I have T Shuffle on.
T Shuffle.
Yeah. This is never used. I was doing a practice seed and I found out, holy wow, there's a treasure chest with 82,000 gold in it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it grabs just a shuffle too, so you can find the Avenger or Flame Dog or something like that. It's really funny.
Yeah. You're gonna find cures and ethers and cures and ethers, and then suddenly you find a heroin rope, and you're like, what? Okay. But like I said, almost every single one of these flag sets ends up having some slightly obscure flag that you don't see anywhere else. And
if you don't mind, Fiber Lover, I wanted to mention and shout out when Fiber Lover submitted the club to the Restream leads, and I was reading the document with the descriptions for the flag sets and stuff. You may have seen already the little blurb about Cecil. That's oh, this was the worst week of my life. I was laughing so hard that the people at my house poked me about it. I was are you okay? I was cackling because it was so funny. All of these characters talking about their vanilla the story of Final Fantasy IV. Oh, this was just such an awful week. It's just the funniest thing. I really can't wait for you all to read them.
Don't try to think about how long Final Fantasy IV actually took.
Yes.
I think, I went back and forth
on
how long. I decided to go with a week as it felt about right.
Yeah, that's
about
fine.
Right. Don't worry. no one can handle like actual timelining in any Final Fantasy narrative.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
But-
say as someone who has tried to timeline Final Fantasy VII, it takes place over 7 weeks, maybe. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, but yes, I use that as a bit of a running joke. I also, before I say anything more, I do want to mention right now at this exact moment, Rex Banner 12 is being nice enough to run not the async seed, but a seed with my first week's flags as a bit of a showcase.
Okay.
And I want to also mention it because he's doing a charity thing right now too.
Yes, we have lots of wonderful people involved in different charity events. We were very happy to be showcased last night by Fastest Furs, and yeah, it's always a great time whenever FE gets to be part of a charity event.
Oh, and yes, as you point out, Xenocat or sorry, Marshall. Yeah. While most of them refer to it as the worst week of their life, Riddy refers to it as the worst decade of her life or something like that.
It's roughly like that.
Because, yeah. But, so, going to a little bit mechanically stuff now, for the club.
Mhm.
We're going to, like I said, 13 weeks, starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow is restreamed.
Yes.
Every other week is restreamed.
Yes.
Stealing from, I'll 100% admit this, stealing from my sensei, Asuka. I'm doing a training async every week that I basically the day after the race, I'll throw out the training async and say, here you go. Practice all you want.
Nice.
Since I'm changing flags every week, I don't want people to be thrown off by, wait, what the heck's going to happen?
Makes sense.
Not the difficulty changes pretty drastically among these, and I will definitely give people a heads up when it's going to be on the hard side, on the kata side. I don't want I don't think any of them are actually kata seeds, but some of them probably, I'd say 1 or 2 reach kata light.
Gotcha.
On the other hand, some of them are disgustingly easy. So there's a big mix there, and it's all about just giving you that feeling of, wow, I feel like I am seeing the events of the Final Fantasy IV game from the perspective of this character. I want to do that 13 times in a row.
Awesome. I think it's going to be a really interesting club. I have always liked the idea of the narrative clubs, so I am looking forward to it. I hope that everyone else is also looking forward to it, and we're excited for tomorrow.
I certainly am.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, FBL, for stopping by. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And before we move on to the
The Async Clubs.
yes, the other clubs, really quickly.
We have more.
Well, first up, let's actually, because we've kind of been going through talking about the restreaming schedule. So here you go. Here is the schedule that we'll be seeing for this summer. So also, I really like how a bunch of our clubs, how they got like acronymed down.
I love Ask. I love Mac.
Yes, Escape and Mac and FTP are probably my favorites out of those.
CP. I love my favorite card, File Transfer Protocol. Oh yes.
That actually would be really funny. But anyway, so from the perspective of, we'll be on Sundays at 7 p.m. For those people who have been around a little longer, that was our Slapdash spot. So from the perspective of, we'll be taking over the Slapdash spot. And then again on Mondays at 8 p.m. we'll have the weeklies. And then we have Eblan Spelunking Club will be on Tuesdays. Wednesdays we will have the Music Appreciation Club. Thursdays will be Pink Puff League. Fridays will be the Free Enterprise 2 weeklies. And then Saturdays will be Baron's Hero's Journey. I got there.
Nice.
Also, I appreciate chat coming up with more variations. Wonderful. I love it. But, in
We have
case
more.
you can't, come out to a live race, we do have the wonderful option of Async Clubs. So let's actually talk real quick. Async means asynchronous race. That means you can come in, take care of the, play the race play your seed on your own time, and then you submit your time at the end. And you're cool to take like breaks and everything. Just try and keep your timer, accurate is the important thing. But it's a way
Yeah.
for people who can't come out to the live races to still have a way to appreciate all the different things that we do. So
Yup.
let's go ahead and talk about one of our returning Async Clubs. Let me go ahead, get that going.
Ooh.
Hello, Xenocat!
Hello.
It's our favorite like MB bot from our Discord club run by Xenocat, Tweakers Trials.
Yeah, it's Tricker's Trials. We run bi-weekly async races, which is really nice. We have 2 weeks to do it. The first one is already underway. It's a week in, so it'll be closing up on May 30th at the end of this week. But in the future, there will be 2 weeks for every race. These mystery seeds are going to be quite rude. Basically, the YAML was designed as a joke to be like, what are a bunch of rude settings that could come up if we had a lit 3 YAML, which would be what happens if we kept lit 3 on Tricker, our mystery bot.
Yes,
Like, I believe the history was like Zoe made Tricker the bot and was like, here, like, in the vanilla game with the Tricker casts Peep on itself, and it's like, haha, I'm weak to lightning, and if you cast lightning 3 on Tricker, it completely decimates your party. So the idea, I believe, was Zoe going, I'm going to make seeds that no one will ever want to play. And then guess what happened? People were like, oh, I want to spend 4 hours playing Free Enterprise. That sounds chill. That sounds like my idea of a good time. So they did. And now here we are.
Zoe's in chat saying, I made Lit 3 as a joke and I should have known better.
Yeah, no, it's not a joke. We play it. It's fun. We have a club now. The seeds are pretty rude. The full YAML is available, of course, in the Discord. We use the Lit 3 no vintage YAML for accessibility, which is exactly the same as the Lit 3 YAML, but the Lit 3 YAML has a 50% chance to give you the vintage flag, and the vintage flag is just a graphics change. It doesn't affect anything else, and so we remove that chance because the vintage graphics can be kind of awful to look at, especially when you're playing a 4-hour seed.
And also, I like that, these seeds can last a long time. So the fact that they're asyncs, as long as you pause the real timer, like the real-time timer, you can resume the seed at another time.
Oh,
so
yeah. It's super convenient.
It's great.
The flag, you never know what the flags are going in. These seeds tend to have a lot of objectives, I will say. The seeds will either be every objective required, or they can be one objective required.
Surprise!
I believe there's like 1 of 1,000 chance that it can be like one objective, like a win game, or something like that.
There is a 1 in 1,000 chance that it is Rec 1 win game, which means you have to do one of about 24 different things, and then as soon as you do one of them, you win the game.
Hooray!
But it's very rare. Don't count on it.
It's extremely rare, and more than likely, you are going to be full clearing the entire seed.
Yay! I guess.
It's fine. Along the way, there will not be any of the glitches enabled, so you won't be able to use any of those glitches to help you out, including the back row glitch new to this season. No back row glitch, sorry. It's not allowed. The shops will never contain sirens or apples and will usually be quite rude. Often they'll be cabins or empty, but the most common setting is pro. We like to make it somewhat playable. You will never be able to steal J items from enemies or get Japanese exclusive drops, because that wouldn't be fun. Stealing sirens? Why would we let you do that?
No stealing. You get a potion, you like it.
Yes, exactly. You will get a Cure 1 pot and you will like it. There will never be a free key item. There will never be free characters. So don't even bother going to check Bedward. You're on a demist hunt. Great point brought up in chat. You can steal life pots, and you may need to.
Oh boy.
Life
So yeah,
pots may not be available in shops, and you may not get a starter kit. So
if your idea of a good time is, I'm gonna chill watching something on the side or whatever, like watching a show or a film or whatever, while I just chill out playing Free Enterprise for 4 hours, this is the club for you.
yeah.
Pretty much.
We won't surprise you with any of the wacky flags or push B to jump. Push B would make things too easy, and some of the wacky flags would be down. Just some of them would be really, really too easy, and some of them would be quite rude to the point of.
I kind of want to see Tricker's Trials, but with Save Us Big Chocobo.
Oh god.
No. Oh no.
Oh no!
You can do that yourself. You can make your own camel, but
You could.
I could, but I won't.
You could also do Tricker's Trials, but with Afflicted.
Oh!
Ooh.
Or what's the one where your HP goes down every
Battle
time you get-
Scars.
Battle Scars.
That's the third one.
Oh no! That just sounds like Softlock City.
Yeah.
It is.
So yeah, we don't have wacky flags possible in the Tricker's Trials, YAML. No wacky flags.
Everyone's yelling at me now. There is an uprising in chat.
No, the seeds are rude enough without the wacky flags.
This is
And
true.
there have been some interesting seeds rolled. One thing to note is Fu and Edge and Cecil, they can all show up and be really good. Or they might just not.
This
You
just
could
depends
just
on
be,
how
you
they
know,
feel.
yeah,
Are
it
the
depends on how
vibes
they
good
feel.
right now?
Yeah, you can't start with them. You can only start with reject characters, but well, I say reject characters. You can start with Rosa.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Well, that counts.
Rose is real good.
Yeah, she's real good at killing bosses with her power staff.
Yay! Let Rosa bonk things.
It's not so bad when you're only doing 1-2 bosses. When you're bonking your way through Baron Inn 2 with a power staff and no other gear.
So yeah, thanks a lot, Syndicate. I really look forward to hearing the stories that will come up for this club.
Oh yeah, no. Last season we had 3 weeks in a row of Rec 1. It was great. Can't wait to see what happens this season.
So thanks a lot, Syndicate. And everyone, check Discord again.
Yes. Let me go ahead and get our next friend in here. Go ahead and get our music. Oh, actually change it so you can all see it. There we go.
Hello.
Hello, Tall Grant.
Tall Grant. Your mic is muted.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's muted. Took me a second to find the button.
That's
Hi,
okay.
There you
guys.
are.
How you doing?
So,
Oh, we're having fun here.
yeah, we're here for
playing
a
this
good
game.
time. So tell us about Film Friends.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Film Friends is a club where we've decided to take a free enterprise seed and boil it down to the absolute bare essentials, take out the important characters, cast in our favorite free enterprise characters to fill those roles, and pop the plot into the seed. So we are trying to look at the movie through the lens of free enterprise and see if we can create something that has this weird hybrid experience with movies, and specifically movies out of the 1980s. So it's kind of an interesting thing. We actually decided to focus. We like Sea Hero. We wanted to do a Sea Hero challenge. And one of the things that we noticed is a lot of the clubs that we see out there that are Sea Hero tend to be a little bit more, there's all these interesting things that go on with it. And we said, you know what, let's do something a little different. Let's have something that's a lot of fun. Let's do something that's really high power, where you're going to get in there and you're going to go. And we think that's really nice, both because it makes the seed kind of breezy, but it also is kind of a great place if you're going to try Sea Hero for the first time or haven't done a lot of it, for you to jump in, because you're not going to have as many of those terrible roadblocks, especially early, that can make Sea Hero.
Oh yeah, okay, so we've had 2 Sea Hero clubs, and Sea Hero in the website is red. So Sea Hero is the challenge flag, by the way. So it can get kind of rude if you're not used to it. So I love the idea of this club.
Yeah, and so we're doing a lot of things to try and smooth the path out. So we give out a pretty generous starting kit. We give you a lot of things to play with. Some of it's thematic, but a whole lot of it's useful. If you liked your treasure settings from the group stage of Adamant Cup, where T Wildish was everywhere and you found treasure almost you couldn't walk around without tripping over adamant armor. That's us. That's where we've set things. And we also try to get rid of some of the weird last locationing stuff. So we will not require you to do every objective we put in there. We typically do 5 objectives. We'll ask you to do 4 before we hand you the crystal. But the other thing we have on there is, in addition to playing the seed, we have this big kind of meta narrative going on. There's some other story going on behind this. And so once people have come in and tried our seed and played it, we encourage them to go to what is affectionately known, well, what you guys call the spoiler thread, we're affectionately calling our guessing thread, and try and guess not just what movie we have, but who the characters are supposed to represent, why we put certain objectives in there, and occasionally why there are other flags in there, because we put these neat little thematic touches. And what we're kind of hoping for is we want you to have this aha moment where you kind of step back, look at the seed, and when the answer's in your mind, it's like, oh, I see all these things. I understand why all of these parts are here. This is suddenly popping out and making a lot of sense to me.
So, when Toroian approached me with the club idea, first I loved it, even though I know nothing about most films or actors or whatever, especially from the 80s. But Toroian made a cute video, since it's a club based on movies and films. Toroian made an awesome video, and I was like, I don't know what is this music, I don't know any of these actors, but this is great. So head over to the channel.
I appreciated the music and the actors. I think you did an excellent job. It's in the Discord. Please go watch that trailer. It's super great.
Yeah, I loved it.
But yeah, so the other thing about the club is we put friends in the title because our other goal that I don't think I've clearly spelled out in the bullet points here that I just wanted to talk about is the friendship. I had so much fun in Group Aegis Shield during Adamant Cup, and I made some really good friendships there. And one of the things that we did is when we finished races, like right after, we would sit down and watch our opponent. We would watch our streams together where we'd flip and see what the other person did and talk through what we did. And I loved that aspect of it. And Beauty and Discovery, who co-founded this club with me, and I kind of got to talking and said, we really love that thing. It was something we'd love to recreate. So we want this community aspect to pull people into our post-race threads to talk about the movie. Not, there's some discussion of what you see in there, but we want to talk about the movie of, oh, I see this, I see that, this happened, that, and kind of build this. We're not, it's kind of interesting to go right after Tricker, because Tricker is definitely let's go hardcore, let's try all the stuff, and we're like, let's get in there, let's have a good time, let's make friendships. The racing aspect is kind of there, but let's, this is about fun and discovery and happiness, and that's where we want to be.
Yeah, it just goes to show that, you can play friendships however you want, and that's part of what I really enjoy from club season.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to play it.
Yeah, and so we're doing async races. We've got one film plotted out starring each of the characters from Free Enterprise. We've got a few bonuses that may pop up along the way depending on what the people running it like and what we may end up doing with it. And like I said, if you're into 80s movies, you can run our stuff with. If you're not into 80s movies, the seeds are interesting. If you want to play a high-powered seed, we're certainly great for that. But if you like seeing, your Harrison Ford, your Steven Spielberg, your George Lucas, your Sigourney Weaver, Molly Ringwald, those kind of people, we found ways to work them all here. And so a bunch of them will pop up in interesting ways.
I recognize some of those names. Awesome.
Well, and it's funny you say that. So we're actually live right now. We launched our first feed on Thursday, and you're welcome to come play with us. And I've gotten a good chuckle for the number of people who said, I don't, just like Alchemy say, I don't know movies, I don't know that much stuff. And when the answers popped out in front of them, they're like, I know and I've seen this movie.
I'm sure,
I know more than I think.
Yeah, for like cultural osmosis, for example, you like someone in chat mentioned Die Hard about like climbing towers or something. With I don't know, is it Bruce Willis or whatever? And it's like, oh, if I were to see that, and then someone told me, oh, you climb towers and you beat the bad guys, and this guy doesn't wear shoes, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Die Hard, I guess, even though I haven't never watched it.
Well, and I think Alchemy and I were talking. I sent him a boss sprite of the villain from our first film, because that boss sprite is in the pool, and Alchemy looked at it and said, yeah, I know this one.
Yeah, I know things. Anyway, Toroian, thanks a lot for joining us and showing us. I love the idea of this club, even if I don't watch movies. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to run this. It's been absolutely a blast to put together.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Let me go ahead, get ready for our next friend.
Hello.
Hello, Gale Swift.
Hello, everyone.
So you're here to tell us about Choose Your Own Ordeals.
By the way, I really love this name. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, hopefully everyone kind of gets it. You know, the old choose your own adventure books where you would get a choice, but obviously you would peek at each choice before you chose it. So this club is kind of themed around a flag set that is based on choices that we as a community will make. So it's going to be using this draft website that I had made a while ago. And the general idea is that we all get together in a lobby, and the draft site will support any number of players. And we all get kind of presented with choices of flags to include in the seed we're about to play. And if you're familiar with Slay to Spire or any kind of drafting games, it's pretty similar to those where you have to make a choice between the cards presented in front of you. One kind of twist, though, is that when you're making the choice, other players can veto that choice. So if you pick something that's really rude and someone doesn't want to play it, they can actually veto it. And everyone will get one veto, so people can get a choice of like how hard or how easy they'd like the flag set to be. The drafts themselves are kind of one of my favorite parts. They take about 10 minutes or so. Sometimes it can take a little longer. You're going to get presented with 6 card choices, and everyone gets one veto, as I said. In order to kind of keep the seeds from being too long, we're going to cap the number of objectives at 4. Now, this doesn't preclude some of the objectives like go do the classic elementals, or there might be some random objectives in there as well, which can go over that limit. But in general, they should take between 1 to 2 hours to kind of finish. You can also join the drafts on your phone or on your PC or on a tablet, so you're not kind of limited to just being in front of your computer. You can be on the go somewhere and just join the draft and be part of that for 10 minutes. And then we'll fire up an async that'll last for about a week. And you can race that at your own time. And one other twist is I kind of wanted to make it a little bit of an evolving flag set idea where we had a club last year that was a kind of a legacy club where where some of the flag sets would carry over to the next week. So the kind of caveat here is that the last person to draft the card during the draft, that flag will get included in the base flag set for the next week. So if you draft we have to clear the giant, well, from that point on, every draft will include finish the giant as part of its flag set. And
nice. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so the goal is kind of not to try to be too rude. Some of the drafts can get really difficult, but we are doing a standard draft with a base difficulty. So some of the more rude flags that can be chosen, things like Max Party 1 or Max Party 2 or sparse 10% chests are not going to be included. And the goal is partially to expose players to all the different flags that can be available, but also to enjoy kind of crafting something. If you're not sure what you want to do, you can kind of pick it before the race starts. Sorry, go ahead.
To reiterate, doing the whole draft itself is extremely fun. Community member Invulnerable, back when the drafting site started happening, was a thing, starting happening. And it's a community experience. Oh, I can't believe you picked this, or oh wow, I can't believe you picked that.
Yeah, Martin Broadcloak is another one of our community members who hosts drafting races, which they're just a bunch of fun.
Yeah, it's the community involvement of okay, we made this now, we made our bet, now we gotta lie on it, that's a saying, and it's just so much fun. People talk about those seats for days and days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that part of including the community. So you can kind of participate by joining the club and being part of the draft, or I will be streaming the drafts every time we do them. So if you want to swing by chat, maybe you can try to influence someone that's in the draft to see if they're willing to pick a flag for you. Keep in mind that flags can be vetoed, so it's up to you to kind of convince not just that person, but everyone in the group.
Yeah. It's really fun.
The psychology of choose your own ordeals.
Exactly. Yeah, so we're going to start our first race this coming Friday. Now that kind of people have had a chance to see what it's about, we've run a couple of just casual async versions of these, and they've been turning out pretty well. And so far, I think the most we've had was about 8 or 9 people. And you also, the site will support joining late, so don't feel bad if you missed like the start of it. You can always join in to a draft in progress, and don't be shy to participate and pick some cards, and just overall just have a good time.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Gail. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yep.
All right, let us go ahead get ready for the next club. Get our next friend in here. Hello, Commander Leonhardt.
Hello.
Oh no. There
Hello.
we go. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Wonderful. So
Having a
tell
lot of
us-
fun.
Tell us about 99%ers.
Okay, so you've talked about the history of the clubs here, and there were a few things that I was going for that I kind of took what I liked from each club and threw them all together into this. It is a mystery club, and starts out with a static YAML, so to speak, where if you open up the YAML and look at it, you'll know what flag set it's going to take, because every choice only has numbers on one of the flags, and that's by design. What's going to happen is that after each async, each person that ran the race can send me, or say in the channel, a flag that they'd like to increase the number for. The better the person does in the race, the less the increase will have an effect. Like you alluded to the Legacy Club a while back, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the fact that it had the choices made by the people that did the best had a definite impact on the difficulty as things went on, and I was trying to make sure I went in the other direction with this. We've got Lit 3, which, you know, is where I pulled the whole mystery notion from. But we've got that if you want to see the rude side of what Tricker does. This is definitely meant to be more inviting.
Right, because what happened with Legacy is that, you know, the best people in the community obviously might want something a little more challenging because they find, you know, the challenge like more entertaining, while the other folks maybe not be like so into it. Like, so I believe the Legacy one's turned into like a Catalyte, you know, really tough flag set at one point, and some folks like tuned out. So I like this idea of like, hey, we're gonna do like kind of like Legacy again, but keep it a little more chill. Yeah.
Exactly. And when I built the YAML, I just deleted a lot of lines, because another thing about what you're allowed to increase is that if the line isn't in the YAML, you can't put it in just by voting for it. So
nice.
E vanilla is not in the YAML. No EXP, the line simply does not exist in the YAML. So you can't make that happen. I've deliberately blocked it, and I've gone through and tried to block out the rudest of the rude. There's still some things in there. You can turn on K-Trap if you want. It's an option. But like the really brutal stuff is like, please don't.
And how did you manage to like pick the flag sets then?
Oh, to start, just went through and basically wanted the start to be pretty inviting and straightforward. It starts out with just K main, you know, K summon, K moon, K trap all start off, but people can add numbers to the 0 that's next to the off and start having that have a chance to roll. The only number next to the T setting is wild, because I felt that was the most straightforward and inviting. And other things are just off, but with a little bit of work they could be turned on. Like wacky starts off with off, and again I've scrubbed the really rude wackies, some of which have been alluded to here.
I see. That's that's great. I really like the folks that didn't do so great for whatever reason. I mean, like maybe they picked the path in the seed that didn't get to the objective or the key items they needed, or whatever that they get to pick. Well, you know what? I really like to start with Cecil or with Fusoya. That sounds fun, and they just go ahead and like do it if enough people want that. Like the community participation aspect. I'm always for that, and I really like it.
Very, very, very quickly, we did have a question from chat to ask us to explain what YAML is. I believe the acronym is actually yet another markup language.
Yep.
It's so funny that
Yes.
that's the name.
But basically, it's this. Basically, it's a document that we feed into Tricker. Tricker is our bot that creates mystery seeds. A mystery seed means that when you play it, you have no idea what the flags are. What the YAML does is the YAML creates, has percentages, has weights, basically, for how likely is it that one flag will be picked over the other. So this way, there is a way you can sort of tune the YAML so you have like a general idea of what it's going to do, but will still be surprised when the individual seed is rolled.
Right, and you think of it as kind of like marbles being thrown in a bag. So, like we mentioned T flags earlier. Like, let's say that the YAML says standard 10, pro 15, wildish 20, and wild 25. You could imagine that many number of marbles, each of which said those things, all being thrown in a bag, and then the program's going to pull one of those marbles, and that'll be your T flag.
Nice.
There we go. Had a little bit of education in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
But, so you said the first race of the season is already in progress, correct?
Yes, I opened it up last Tuesday, and it's going to close tomorrow at 6, so there is still time to hop in. Definitely open the YAML and give it a look through if you do, because it is there's no mystery about week 1. It's set as a baseline. So you'll know the flags Tricker is that gave for the seed when you start it up. And always good to know your flags. And even when things get going, it's going to change from week to week. I'll post in the club channel the summary of who picked this and how much weight it was given for, transparency and all that good stuff. And so look at the YAML each week if you're running this, get an idea of what it can be. If you're used to, especially if you're already used to running mystery seeds, because you're going to go in thinking, oh, I've run the ladder mysteries, or I've run Lit 3, so I want to check for Duke Glitch. I want to check for this. And if you look through the YAML, a lot of things that you might be used to thinking about in mystery just aren't there because, again, not trying to keep this inviting and stop it from working its way to canon.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Commander.
Thank you.
Hard. And I can't wait to see again what kind of stories come out from this club. Then to hear people talk about it, like, hey, remember that time K-Trap was on and we started with Fusoya and it was really fun, or whatever. I can't wait to hear all the fun little tidbits.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, give me just one moment. Alright, so those are all the club captains who could meet us here live. Big thank you to all of them for taking out their time and giving us their time and energy. We do have a few more clubs where unfortunately the captains weren't able to be present with us, so we are going to cover them in their stead. Hopefully we do a good job.
We will. Confidence.
Confidence! So let's start by talking about Toroian Tango. This is our other returning Async club. So this is a bit of a different way to play Free Enterprise. Turns it into a cooperative race. This is what we like to call 2v2. Basically, it will be 2 people together on one team, and then you'll be sort of going up against all your other teams.
Yeah, originally we call it in the community 2v2 because back in the day, I don't remember if it was 2019 or something
around
like
then,
that.
I was part of that.
Yeah, we did what we call a Free Enterprise 2 Invitational or something like that.
was
And we did like folks made up their team names, or they did the 2v2s on Restream, and the idea was that they communicated over a voice call and like shared information, and they were usually high completion or top sets. But since you had two folks doing everything in a seed, they could say, hey, this place isn't worth it, we check this other place out, and they combine the times, and whoever finishes in the shortest time combined is the winner. But since, scheduling is really tough for like people and stuff like that, our wonderful club captains and members of the Basing Gears, Lady Eid and Poorly Drawn Bees, Emily's Poorly Drawn Bees, made this Async Club. So you just make your team, please think of a funny and clever name. That is very important.
Yes, your name is extremely important.
And then you just join the Async and you run your seat together while in a voice call and just enjoy some co-op free enterprise, which is another way, once again, of enjoying free enterprise in a different way. And there's a lot of fun like stories of like people becoming really close friends of it, and I'm all for it.
Absolutely. It's a really great way to work together. It's also a really great way. We're going to help out people to sort of find partners if they don't have one. We definitely have a lot of cases where you might have someone who's a little bit more experienced with someone who's a little bit newer, and that sort of mentorship, mentee relationship also helps like a whole bunch. Also, the seeds are really wide open because they use K-Trap to sort of encourage lots and lots of exploration. So,
exploration and the communication between you and your partner. And honestly, we call it communication, but it's just people like messing around in a call and saying jokes and being like, hey, you go clear the moon, ha ha ha, have fun with the red dragons, and people then, having a lot of fun. There's also the community captains made like docs and like Google Docs and what's it called, spreadsheets and stuff to like find partners. Like if you don't know who to partner with and you don't know people or whatever, you're like too shy, you can just put your name on it and maybe someone will reach out to you, or you can find someone to play with your same like schedule that you can work with.
Yes, and for note-taking for Toroian Tango, we are allowing folks to be able to have a shared Google Doc while they're playing. This is just a way to, that way, you can kind of keep track of things. We know these are big seeds that often have a lot of fine details. So you can share a document for this club. This club also goes every other week. So that way you have plenty of time for both you and your teammate to be able to sort of sit down together and play out the race. It's basically something where, like I said, you two will be running sort of side by side, and then you both submit your times together, and you will see, the best team shall win.
There's the first race of the season starts in May 2012. That's tomorrow.
Yes.
So please head over to the Discord, plug, over to the Toroian Tango channel to find all the resources to find a partner to race with. And please think of a cool name. That is very important.
Please think of a cool name. Do you have a favorite of your cool names from different teams that we've had?
Oh god, there was one. I don't remember if it was like Invent's Old Club. It was so funny. I just can't remember.
I mean, what was it? It was, I forget. It was Penguin and someone else who were Team Ninja Shirt, and I always liked that.
Yeah.
One. But there's Antidale I know has Pepper's puppets for after his cat.
yeah.
Basically, come up with a cute name.
Yeah, people get funny and clever with it, and it's always a joy to see the team names.
Those are, like just go read like the details of a Toroian Tango, and just enjoy everyone's wonderful team names.
Yup.
All right, so let us go on to next of our Async Clubs. We have Frantic 5. This is being run by the wonderful Cubs Rule 21. So, this is this is sort of like a sort of, we have this sort of thing where like the meta in Free Enterprise, it sort of shifts around, it changes as we do different events. So our last event, Adamant Cup, was based around the idea of high completion percent. So seeds where basically every objective was required. Frantic 5 kind of goes in the opposite direction and goes with 10 objectives, but only 5 are required. So this sort of changes the meta. It now becomes, okay, which 5 objectives are going to be the fastest way to get through the seed?
My art history teacher way back in the day said that art was like a pendulum. Sometimes it was swung one way, and then the next time it swung the other way in a complete opposite direction. And this is it. This is people being like, hey, are you tired of high completion? Well, just do 5 objectives, LMAO. And honestly, I'm all for it.
Now, what it does is there are 2 set objectives. You always have to find D-Mist, so that way it doesn't turn, into just a D-Mist hunt. And you always have a Forge. Those are the 2 that are always on the table. And then everything else then will be random. It'll be random quests and random boss hunts. But yeah, otherwise it's a, pretty good ranged flag set. It does restrict, puts Cecil into the restriction pool alongside Edge of Fu. You do get some kits, but you don't get any adamants, but Spoon is on and Super Smith is on, so that's always a fun time. But basically the idea is to have as many sort of different possible routes through the seed, and then people then can sort of pick how they want to do things. Do you want to go power overwhelming? Do you want to go low level? So basically...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
And once again, the community aspects of like, hey, which 5 objectives did you do? Well, I did this, and then that was my route. Oh wow, well I did that, and that was my route, and just like coalescing all the ideas of the seed into like what each person did and chatting about it. I think it's awesome. I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah. So, so the first async, I believe, will be opening up a little bit after the stream is done, so be on the lookout for it.
Yep.
And again, get in the Discord. There's a channel for it. And you'll have 1 week to run these races. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Next up, this one has been running for a little bit. We have Looters Anonymous, which is run by Escrunt. So this is a weekly async club with a fixed flag set. We have some that like to change up their flag sets, some that like to have just like a static flag set. I think that's good to have sort of both of those things.
Yeah, because again, with the changing flag set, it's fun because there's a lot of variety. It's very dynamic. With the static fixed flag set, you can get a sense of progression on your on some of your skill sets in Free Enterprise. And it focuses on different aspects of the game. It's great. And this one focuses on opening chests.
All the chests, every chest. We want to see those $3.99 to $3.99 seeds. So your required objectives, which I think are great. You have to do the dark matter hunt, which that doesn't get a lot of play in some of our other flag sets. So it's great to have a flag set that really does embrace the beauty of the dark matter hunt. You also then have to open the Toroian treasury, of course. You gotta raise the big whale, you gotta forge, and you gotta go through the pass door.
Yep, and most of those things you're gonna find in chests.
Yes.
So get looting.
One of the few flag sets that uses the P chest flag.
Yeah, P chest, 3 passes in chest. Go find them, bucko.
One thing that is kind of interesting is it also uses the no free characters. That's always a lot of fun. So.
Oh yeah. So just
gotta go hunting.
Yeah.
And of course your chests are wild, but your shops are just standard. So your best stuff is going to be out of the chests.
And I love that the one of the core concepts is that after you're done with the seed, you post the number of chests you have opened in the Async spoiler channel.
Yes.
I think that's absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see like what people talk about. Like, hey, I opened 200 chests. Wow, I opened 175 chests. I think that's gonna be really funny to talk about.
Absolutely. And also this is very good for learning where all the chests are in the game.
Yes. Do you know how many times, oh, I'm in T-Wildage and I open this like random hack like Chocobo bot chest that exists in the Chocobo forest, and hey, what's that? It's a power shirt. What?
Yes.
No one's gonna find that power shirt.
My favorite
and it's
one
so fun.
is definitely the Kokol under the stairs chest. That's my favorite hidden chest in the game. That's the one I tell everyone about because I think it's great.
Yeah, I agree.
But
so,
this one first race already has been opened. Escrunt opened it earlier today, so.
This one doesn't have a club channel because it's a static fixed flag set, and Escrunt didn't deem it necessary. But you can just use the async spoiler channels and stuff to talk about, and you could just use the Clubhouse general channel to chat about it.
Yeah. We got Escrunt really likes clubs, so he's actually running 2 this club season.
Yeah.
He's also running Edge versus the Blue Planet. This is another sort of fixed flag set club. So it will be Edge and 2 companions. That's it. It's only 3 characters. That's all you get.
Yup, you only get 3 people.
Yes, and you have to go through the main key item checks. Now, this is a win game, so you don't have to worry about Zeromus. That's always kind of nice. All your objectives, though, are those gating checks, so you have to be really careful about your routing, and definitely watch out for the sealed cave. Edge, he is very speedy, and and he might not be able to get you through everything.
Yeah, but the idea of like limited resources with having one of the most versatile characters in the game with the ability to throw weapons and equipment, and also steal sirens and steal other convenient like powerful items, and 2 other people just like clearing all the objectives. It's wonderful, and since Zeromus is not a problem you have to contend with, you have to just shift the way you think about going through the seed.
Yeah, you also don't have to.
It's really cool.
Yeah, you also don't have to worry about hook routes. This is a Force Magma flag set.
Yep.
So that does help as well, and everything is going to be on the Earth, so it's a K main flag set as well. So a little bit different than what you normally get. Which again, we like that. We like sort of, I think people.
Yeah.
When we get into a tournament season, like all the meta kind of becomes condensed down around the tournament, and that does. Well, don't get me wrong, I think it's wonderful that we sort of have these very like in-depth and highly competitive flag sets that people will basically do all the math, do all the strategy on to get out every little nuance from them. I like the fact that we, during club season, get to highlight just how versatile Free Enterprise really is.
Yeah, it's like a slime in my head. You grab the slime and you push it down and you get it real compact and you squeeze all it has to offer, and then you let go and it just goes splort the wave, and it it gets all over the place. It's like, well, you can do all of these things yet. That metaphor may not work, but I get it, okay.
But yeah, I hope folks will enjoy this. We'll give our last little sort of wrap up here. And more, we've been... I did that just to surprise you. We also have been talking a lot about the ladder. We'll also have a link to the ladder in the video description when we port this over to YouTube. We encourage people to join the ladder. That has your sort of structured schedule, 1v1 races against mystery opponents, and there's a whole wonderful variety of flag sets.
Right here.
Yes, but that's like one way that's another way you can enjoy Free Enterprise during the club season. Again, of course, as we've been saying, join the Discord. There are even more clubs and one-off async races and casual pickup races that all happen there. You also can get your answers to your newbie questions, get your in-depth tech talk. You can submit suggestions, feedback, bug reports. You could just hang out with all the wonderful people in this community. There's way too many server emotes, and also impossible to explain in-jokes and memes like diners, drive-ins, and D-machines.
Don't forget your donkey sauce, I guess, or whatever that is.
That's what we're calling ethers now. Shout outs to Guy Fieri and to Chicken Guy, his restaurant where there's I think like 38 sauces. There are many sauces.
Oh dang!
I know all about the Guy Fieri extended universe.
Get over the way, Marvel. We got a new big boy in town, right here, down in Flavor Town.
I mean, I tell everyone, please actually watch Food Network Tournament of Champions. It's like one of the best like food competition shows. It's a food competition show that is also a randomizer tournament, and it's the best thing. And I can't recommend it enough.
Flavor Town is of course in Tonra. Next question.
But yeah, thank you everyone so much for coming out, for just enjoying the afternoon with us. And give me just 2 seconds to see where we're taking all this wonderful good energy. Again, all these streams will be starting up this week. We hope that you will come out. You like, even if you just want to come out, chill, and hang out, you are welcome to do so. I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic club season, and I'm really glad we got to kick it off this way. So, let's go ahead and brought up the wonderful Rex Banner, who's doing some charity. So let's go ahead, bring it over to him. We will see you all tomorrow night, this channel, for the premiere of From the Perspective of. And we hope you all have yourself a good evening. Bye, everyone.
Take care.